Hi, this is Lynn Jacob, founder of MLJ International, creator of the 7 Simple Strategies for Success, and author of the book, I Know You Know, But You Don't Understand. And that book is getting a lot of rave reviews, I'm happy to say, because that was my purpose of writing that book, was to help people like you, owners of small and medium-sized businesses. And a fellow who got that book a while ago that I didn't even know about, right, because I'm not the one selling it. At any rate, it encouraged him to come to this workshop that I'm going to talk a little bit about that took place yesterday in Edmonton, Alberta. And what happens in these 2-hour, simple, very simple seminar-type workshops is when people walk through that door, we, get seated, sometimes wait for people to show up because, contractors, I specialize in working with the construction industry, they're, running around singing, I'm late for a very important date. But at any rate, we got going shortly after the start time. It wasn't so bad. And what I do is I ask everybody in the room, what are your top 3 challenges? Then I list them. As you can see, there's a long list here. And democratically, we shortlist them to the top 3 challenges in the room. And we did that yesterday. Now, the funny thing is that I want to talk to you about, ever so briefly, is that typically the top 3 challenges across the country, down in the U.S., the country being Canada, if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't know where I'm from. So across Canada, down in the U.S., over in Europe, down in Australia, I have clients down there too, and the typical top 3 challenges, yes, they came up a little bit yesterday, but they weren't any of the, well, a couple maybe, but they weren't the ones that were highlight or that we actually got into too much. So growth was one here in Alberta that it didn't surprise me, but it's just that the people in the room weren't focusing on what people typically focus on. So I contend that the top 3 challenges that I hear about out there are actually our top 3 resources. So how great is that? Now, the thing is that yesterday, which was delightful for me, is that when we were focusing on the top 3 challenges here, growth was one of them. And infrastructure, someone talked about infrastructure in their business that they were lacking, and that was a challenge for them. Well, why did it matter? It's because the infrastructure that they have today is for where they were yesterday. And now they want to get to where they want to be tomorrow. So that's growth, right? So, that's in Alberta. And the other funny thing is that I was doing a trade show just the day before that. And in fact, one fellow from the trade show just stepped into it. He made a decision instantaneously, and he joined us in this workshop yesterday. But the thing is that I was meeting very small contractors, and their way of thinking was very different from the way of thinking of everybody in this room yesterday. How so? Well, they were telling me that they don't have enough work, they can't find enough clients, they can't find enough people to help them, so they've got to do it all themselves. Well, you know what? They're not thinking about growing. Not at all. In fact, all they're seeing are the challenges of a business. They're not seeing any of the beauty of a business. And so then that brings me to another challenge, if you will, that came up yesterday. So when we were talking about growth, this fellow actually talked about innovation. That is something that he was feeling he was lacking in his business. It was a challenge to have the innovation that he wanted to see. Well, when we talked about that, the beauty is that he has an idea of something that he wants to create that's going to not only serve him and his company, and of course that's how the idea comes to him, but it's going to serve everybody in his sector of the construction industry. So how beautiful is that? And the thing about being innovative is that's what feeds our soul. That's what makes it fun. So this guy's been doing same old, as we say, for about 20 years. Yeah, it gets to be same old. Yes, he's got a great business and he's very profitable and all that stuff, but he needs more excitement. So how about you? How much excitement do you have in your business? And in fact, I want to show you, I've just done some rebranding of my business. I don't know if you can really see it well here, but the business name now, instead of MLJ Coaching International, it's MLJ International. And now my promise is fun has never been so profitable. So when this guy starts tapping into his innovation that he wants, then that's going to be a lot of fun for him. Exciting, exhilarating, thrilling, scary, but it's going to be fun. So how much fun are you having in your business today? Would you like more? We're going to be doing a couple of free teleclasses in the next few weeks, so I want you to keep your eyes peeled for that. Watch your inbox. We're going to be letting you know about them, obviously, by email. So if any of this speaks to you and you want to take it for a little bit of a test drive over the telephone, then watch for those free teleclasses and join us. Simple as that, so that we can get the fun back into your business. This is Lynn Jacob of MLJ International, and I wish you tons more fun so that you can have tons more profit. Talk to you soon.